Hi, welcome to this video class. This is Pravina here to teach you class 6 science lesson 5 separation of substances. In the last video, we have learned the different methods of separation of such substances such as hand picking, winnowing, threshing and sieving. So here are some few more methods of separation of substances. So the methods of separation of substances such as sedimentation, decantation and filtration. So what do you mean by sedimentation? So the common sight that we see at your homes, your mother before cooking, she washed the rice. So why does she wash that rice? So the main reason is that the rice particles still consist of some impurities in the form of husk or dirt, or even it may consist of sand particles. So as to remove that unwanted components from the mixture, she washed the rice grains. So here, while washing that, she has to take a beaker and add rice grains to that. Then it has to be filled with water, and then she thoroughly washes the grains with water. Now if she wait for 1 minute, you can see that these rice grains get settled to the bottom of the beaker. So that process of where the heavier component in a mixture settles down after water is added to it, so that process is known as sedimentation. So that you just take a beaker and fill it with 3 by 4th of water. Now add sand particles to it. So what can you see? So all the heavier sand particles get settled at the bottom of the beaker. So that process is known as sedimentation. So after the process of sedimentation, the water which consists of all this dirt and the color of the water changes to muddy, so that any dirt which is present in the grain is being dissolved in the water. So that muddy water has to be removed from the grains. So here the top water, after once the grains have been settled at the bottom, which is known as sedimentation, the muddy water has to be discarded from that. So that process of removal of water is known as decantation. Okay, so the two processes such as sedimentation and decantation. For example, take a beaker, add 3 by 4th of water to it, then add sand particles to it. So you can see that the sand particles are getting settled down at the bottom. So now you wanted to separate the sand as well as the water. So that process of settling the soil particles at the bottom of the beaker is known as sedimentation, and these sand particles are separated out from the water in the sense where the beaker is being tilted to remove the water from it. So that process of removal of water is known as decantation. So the two processes such as sedimentation and decantation. Yes, and there is another method which is known as filtration. So for what purpose do we use this filtration? So you might have seen after the tea has to be filtered. After boiling, the tea have to be filtered so that the tea has to be separated from the tea leaves. So what do we actually do? So we just filter the tea by using a strainer, tea strainer, so that we separate the tea from the tea leaves. So that process is known as filtration. So here, through the process, without using a strainer, can we filter the tea and tea leaves? Is that possible? So is that possible through the process of sedimentation and decantation? Yes. So here, after boiling, if you just wait for a minute, you can see that all the tea leaves get settled at the bottom of the beaker. Now you can just so that process is known as sedimentation. So after that, where you can separate the tea into the another beaker. So that can be done through the process of decantation. So is that possible to remove all the tea leaves through the process of sedimentation and decantation? No, it is not possible. Still you can see even after the process of decantation, the tea consists of few tea leaves in it. So for further so as to remove the complete tea leaves from the tea, so what is the process that we opt is we just filter it through the strainer. So here so separating a mixture of two liquids that do not mix with each other, so that process is known as filtration. So as oil and water, how can you filter this oil and water. So these can be done through the process of sedimentation and decantation. So if you take water and oil in a beaker, you will see that the oil floats over the surface of water. So that process is known as sedimentation. Later on, when you can remove the upper surface of oil by tilting the beaker, so that process is known as decantation. And even tea and tea leaves can also be separated through the process of sedimentation and decantation, but for further filtration, so as to get a purified liquid, we just go for a process which is known as filtration. Then how that process of filtration can be done? So methods of separation. So at your home you might have seen that the water that which comes through the taps, it consists of some impurities. So how it can be filtered? Maybe you collect that water in a beaker, and just if you wait for some time, you can see all the heavier particles get settled down at the bottom. So that process which is known as sedimentation, and the upper water is being decanted into the another beaker. So through that process, is it possible to remove the complete impurities which are present in the water? No, it is not possible. Then how can we separate that impurities from the water? So it is done through a process known as filtration. The common sight that you can see is that this water, while collecting into another beaker, they just lay a cotton cloth and try to filter that through the cloth. So this cloth material consists of smaller whole particles through which the impurities get obstructed over the cloth, and the purified water is being filtered into the beaker. So here in this picture you can see how the process of filtration is done, that is with the help of a filter paper, which still consists of finer small whole particles when compared to that of a cloth. So by using the filter paper, the liquid particles are being filtered, where you can get a purified liquid. So here methods of separation to remove insoluble impurities like soil from the water. So this is the method that we actually use to separate the impurities. And also you might have seen for juices such as fruits and vegetable juices, so we filter the juices, right, so that we get the fresh liquid which is being collected into the beaker, and where all the peels and the crushed pulp material remains over the filter paper. And also even solid paneer also is being prepared in such a way. So for this, for getting the paneer, what do they actually do is that they boil the milk, and if you add 2 or 3 drops of lemon juice to it, you get just solid materials of milk. So this which is being filtered by using a cloth material, so the lump of solid that you get can be used as a paneer. So the filtration process is being done so as to remove the insoluble impurities from the liquid. So here just by looking at this picture, you are very familiar with that, I hope, right? So where this process of evaporation is done so as to collect the salt from the seawater, as seawater consists of larger amount of salt, so the mostly common salt that which is available is being extracted through this process. So the process of conversion of water into its vapor is called as evaporation. So here near the seashores, where they are making the shallow pits, and in that pits, when we add seawater to that, it is being left over for few days, so that the water which is present in that get evaporated. It gets evaporated by the sun's heat. So after the process, once the water is getting evaporated, what is being remained in the shallow pits? The salt which is present in the water is being remained in the shallow pits. So this is being processed still, and which is being sold out as a common salt. So what is evaporation? It is nothing but the process of conversion of water into its vapor is called as evaporation. So for this process, you just take a beaker and add 3/4 of beaker with water and keep it on a stove. So what can you observe? If you just let it for 5 or 10 minutes, you can see that the water which is present in the beaker is completely getting evaporated. So that process of conversion of water into its vapor is called as evaporation. So common salt is mostly obtained by that process of evaporation. Yes, now so in the process of evaporation, so now if I asked you to separate the take a beaker and add 2 or 3 spoons of salt to it. and stirrer. So we have seen in the last lesson that few substances are being soluble in water. So salt is also soluble in water. So when you take a glass of water with 2 or 3 spoons of salt which is added to that, it gets soluble in water. So now, can you separate salt from water? Is that possible to separate salt from water? Yes, through the process of condensation. So here, take a beaker which consists of water in which you have added 2 or 3 spoons of salt in it. So take that water which consists of salt, take that water into a kettle. Yes, and start keeping on the you just keep that kettle on a stove. So you can see that water which is present in the kettle starts boiling. Yes, so in the spout region you can see that the water which is present in the kettle is getting converted into water vapor through the process of evaporation, and that water vapor, it just comes out through the spout. So near the spout, you just take a pan in such a way and keep ice cubes over the pan. Above the surface of the pan, you have to keep that ice cubes. Now keep a beaker beside the kettle. So now when this kettle is kept over the stove, the water which is present in it starts boiling, and that water is getting converted into water vapor. So this water vapor, when it comes in contact with the cool surface, so as it is getting cool here, because we have kept some few ice cubes over there, so the water vapor, when comes in contact with that pan, it becomes converted into water again. So the conversion of water vapor into water is called as condensation. So what have you done here? We have taken the water, we have mixed 2 or 3 spoons of salt in it and kept that kettle over the stove. And now when the water starts boiling, it just gets evaporated, it comes out in the form of water vapor, and when that water vapor comes in contact with a cold surface, that gets converted into water. So that process is known as condensation. So through the process of condensation, you can see that through the process of evaporation, the water is getting evaporated, and also the water vapor is being condensed, it is getting converted into water again. So what can you see now in the kettle? You can see that the water is getting evaporated, leaving behind the salt in the kettle. Okay, so through this process we can separate the salt and water. So what are the two processes? Evaporation, through which water is converted into water vapor, and the process of condensation, where the water vapor is getting converted into water. Yes, now can water dissolve any amount of substance in it? For example, you just take a glass of water and now start adding 2 or 3 teaspoons of salt to it, and try to dissolve the salts as many spoons as possible. So observe that, is that whatever the amount that we add to that water, can that water be able to dissolve all the salt that we have added? No. A stage comes where the water cannot dissolve the salt. So such a solution where it cannot dissolve a substance is known as saturated solution. Yes, so the water, it cannot dissolve more amount of any kind of substance in it. Only few amount of substance only can be dissolved in the water. Whereas if you just go on adding the salt or sugar to it, a stage comes where the water is not able to dissolve that substance. So such a solution is known as saturated solution. So large quantity of salt can be dissolved in water. Then how can we dissolve that large quantity of salt? So that can be done through the process of heating. So in that glass where you can see some amount of salt is being left over, when it becomes a saturated solution, when you heat that water, still that salt even gets dissolved in the water. So a saturated solution, in a saturated solution, the salt can be dissolved when the water is getting heated. So a solution is prepared by dissolving a substance in a liquid. A solution is said to be saturated if it cannot dissolve more amount of substance in it. So these are the different methods of separation of substances. In the last video you have learnt about the different methods of separation such as hand picking, threshing, winnowing and sieving. So here in this process, in this video you have seen the different methods of separation such as sedimentation, decantation and filtration. Thank you. Meet you in the next video.